Good morning. We're getting into Parshas Yisro. Then we have Matan Torah. And we see that Matan Torah is read 3 times in the year. Parshas Yisro, Shavuos, and Parshas Va'eschanan. Parshas Yisro, they were tzaddikim. Parshas Va'eschanan, they were Balei Tshuva. And that's after they sinned and after they did tshuva and they had the second luchos. So we see that in Parshas Yisro, the Torah was given with a big rash, a big ishturim, very excited, very exciting. There were a lot of sounds going on. There were a lot of big revelation. So even though it brought bad things afterwards, but the shturim itself has to be affected nowadays also. And like it says, Malahalon, just like the Torah was given b'reses of Isaiah, we accepted the Torah with fear and trembling and sweating. So too when we learn Torah now also has to be with fear, trembling and sweating. How can that be? By Matan Torah, we had the mountain over our heads. We had big revelations of God. When we're sitting and learning, how can it have that effect? We just don't have this big revelation. But since the Torah says we have that capability. And just like it says, Ma'alahalon, Moshe Rabbeinu Ma'alahalon, Eimid Mishamish, so too Lamaila he's Mishamish also. That a real Nasi never leaves his flock. A real leader of a Jewish nation never leaves his flock. And just like Moshe served God in the past, he serves God now also. Since he was a leader before, he can be a leader now also. And that gives us the strength. No matter what we do, we should do it with the same vigor, same chayis, and same nullification to God when we learn. And that's what the Matan Torah Parshas tells us. Like we see by the previous Rebbe, how he worked with Mesiras Nefesh, he gave over his life for teaching Torah, teaching Yiddishkeit in Russia. He did it without any understanding, without any commandment in the Torah. But that strengthened Judaism in Russia. So it gives us a chayis that when we spread Torah, we do it with a chayis. We do it with a geschmack, a tainug. And that's why it says regarding to learning Torah, it has to permeate your whole existence. Torah has to have an effect not only on your brain, but your heart, your hands, your feet, and everything. Just like it says by Tefillah, You can gather all your 10 koiches to have a minyan, to have a minyan davening, even though you're b'yichidis, so too by learning Torah. We have to permeate our whole existence with Torah. And therefore, Torah is not something just for the brain, but has to permeate our whole existence. And do it with achayis. Do it with pride. And make sure Torah becomes your existence. Just like by Matan Torah, there was no outside desires. Like it says, before they came to Har Sinai, everyone had a different avodah in life. There are certain people that bow down to Pesel Micha. Certain people do not want to have any dealings with Hashem. Complaining about water. And some people said maybe God's not with us. But when it came to Matan Torah, Vayichan Sham Yisrael ki ish echad b'leiv echad, that none of those issues took place. No differences in your service to God and how far away you from God. When it came to Har Sinai, it was ki ish echad b'leiv echad. Everyone was equal. And the same thing we have to know now also. No part of our body is higher than the other. No part of our body should be acceptable to Torah more than the other part. Because ki ish echad b'leiv echad was by Matan Torah. The same thing by Kriyas Yamsuf. It says, Mitzrayim Nesei Achareim. That Mitzrayim comes Lashon Yachid, singular form. Everyone had different reasons why they had to go and fight the Jews. Some to get their money back, sometimes some of them to get the Kalim back, the vessels that they borrowed. Some of them were fearful of God, but they still went. Some people had other issues why they went. When they came to Har Sinai by Kriyas Yamsuf, they were Mitzrayim, they said they had one agenda. And that's why we can come over here now in the week of Matan Torah to have only one agenda. And that is every single part of our body should be nullified to God. There's no such thing as we have a desire for something else. When we learn Torah, it's Devar Hashem. And just like by Moshe Rabbeinu, we say in the second chapter of Shema, V'nasati Esav b'satcha, and I will give the growth of the Esav in your fields. Moshe Rabbeinu says, I will, because he was nullified to God. And that's why he was able to. So the Eibusha should help. Let's not let the Yetzer Hara enter our system. And then we blame it on God. But let's permeate our existence with God. Just like what it was a Matan Torah. Just like it was in the Beis HaMikdash. We were nullified to God. But now we have added koiches because we're in darkness. God keeps on sending us light, keeps on sending us blessings to be able to overcome the tribulations that we have today. The only thing is, accept God in your life. No excuses. We cannot have excuses in our life. Excuses were before Matan Torah. After Matan Torah, there's no excuses. By Matan Torah, there was no excuses. No one said, wait a second, hold the Torah until I do an Aveira. Hold the Torah until I speak to this one. Hold the Torah until I check my WhatsApps. Hold the Torah until I do this. No such thing. There was no such thing. Vayichan sham Yisrael ki ish echad belev echad. Each and every Jew was focused on God and His Torah. Let's be focused on bringing Mashiach and not do any unwanted things. Let's not blemish our eyesight. Let's not strengthen our klippah. Let's go forward to Mashiach and know that Mashiach is in the coming. Let's do one more mitzvah and tip the scale. Long live our master, teacher, and Rebbe King Mashiach forever and ever. Long live our master, teacher, and Rebbe King Mashiach forever and ever. Long live our master, teacher, and Rebbe King Mashiach forever and ever.